Are we gonna have questions thrown at me, or am I just gonna? What are we gonna talk about though?
You, the academy, being homeless.
Okay.
So I'll ask you the typical dumb, you must get it all the time question, how do you end up homeless?
Well, basically, poverty started in my life when I was 10 years old. My dad had decided, because he was struggling with an alcohol addiction, to put me in care with CAS. So I grew up in group homes, foster homes, and moved around quite a bit. Never had no stability in my life. Decided when I was about 17 to participate in street life, meaning that was my new family. I never had anybody to teach me anything. So I found people on the street that were willing to teach me things to survive.
So you've been on the street the whole time?
30 years, 25 years. Yeah. Been in jail, maybe 10 of it.
How long have you been out since the last?
Since the last time, 7 years. I like my freedom today.
Do you consider yourself homeless?
I just got housed in November. I just found a place in November, but for 6.5 years, I was pretty much homeless. I lost my apartment, and I ended up on the street. I gave my daughter to her dad. She just moved in with me this weekend, again. So I haven't had her in 6 years. She's 16 now. Trying to survive every single day without a clock, without a calendar, with no reward system. I mean, I was always working. I've always had an apartment. I've always maintained myself. When I hit the streets, having become homeless, I bumped into something I'd never seen before. I never met violence before I was on the street. I never had anybody hit me to win an argument or to, I mean, I got 3 or 4 times in the year, over the years, I got jumped from behind by guys for the $5 they knew I had in my pocket. I mean, when you end up on the streets, you can come from anywhere. It isn't just drug addicts or gamblers or people who are alcoholic or something like that who've just fallen between the cracks. The people that fall between the cracks are really anybody.
I was homeless for almost a year. It was just problems at home, right? With me and my mom, we didn't really get along that well. And also, I used to sell drugs, and she caught me, and she didn't really like that. And pretty much had a huge argument, and I ended up leaving. So, why did I do it?
Yeah, I guess. How come you sold drugs?
I did it because I seen my house and I seen my fridge, and there was never food, and there was food, but there are times when I looked and there was no food, and I felt like I had to do something about that.
Were you like on the street, sleeping on the street? How were you?
I was in shelters.
Shelters? What's the shelters like for a kid?
Oh, those are horrible places. It's not really the place itself, it's the people in it. We'll be in a group and somebody would say, you know, one day one of us is gonna die because where we live. I think they don't really have hope because they never had no one to give them hope.
There is something about what brave and courageous people do which is highly universal. All of you guys have done something to be here. What's the turning point? When do your ears open to the inspirations and then you become an inspiration? What happens?
When you survived rock bottom and it didn't kill you.
When you're tired of being tired and broken, the desperation is enough to pull you out and say, you know what, I am worth going to school and learning that what I believe in is valuable.
I think just giving someone a voice really inspires them a lot. And I know I feel inspired by just speaking about my stories and stuff like that.
There are those people, for whatever reason, are chronically homeless, and they will stay on the street until they die. Then there are people who, for some reason, inherently, like Teresa Schrader, who's the founder of the Wir Hoofden Street Academy, who somewhere, someplace, I don't know why, figured out that if she were to accept what was being presented to her, either through jail or outside of jail, through people who wanted to help, that she could make it further in life. And she has. Why people end up on the street and stay out there is because they just don't know how to get off. Hopefully, we're giving them the opportunity to figure it out.
For 8 to 10 years of my life was working as a sex trade worker, roaming the streets of Lakeshore, anywhere from Mimico out to Long Branch, going to jail every second or third month. I have a 5-page rap sheet now. My whole life was focused on living on the streets, getting and using and finding the ways and means to get more.
It's like there's all the people in the class and you at the head, and you're the person who escaped it.
Yeah.
Right? So what's the difference between them and you, and how can you make them like you? That pretty well seems to be the point of this academy.
Part of what I'm doing is building structure and routine. Coming here 3 days a week is a schedule that some people hadn't even thought of before they came here. Some of it is confidence building. Some of it is let me try to help you develop your vision. A lot of it is to try to teach people to keep your eye on the prize and have some determination, that you are worth it, that you can achieve your goals. You can be whatever you want.
This program's teaching me a lot about school and the importance of education, because when I was younger I didn't care. I didn't really care. I used to skip a lot of school, not really go half days. It's also teaching me life skills, like career choices, things that I want to do. And it really opened my mind to that too, because I found out what I like to do, and that's writing poetry. Yeah.
I have no skills. Training is tough for me. Learning is tough for me. I have grade 8 education, as far as I went when I was young, and that's when I left school. So I'm learning through this Wir Hoofden Street Academy that it's okay to be where I've been and to go where I want to get to. Now, I'm beginning to realize that education is very important, and I'm willing to go to any length to get some type of training.
In the classroom discussions, we all get to contribute about our experiences. Getting it off your chest like that in a place where it's legitimate. It's not just people whinging on the street corner, you know, because there's only one cigarette between the 4 of us, and there's no more cigarettes, and there's no more meals, and okay, the next one is like, they'll be serving breakfast at the church at 7:30, you know, that type of thinking. There's acceptance, there's understanding, because we've all had the same type of experience, and what I have to say also helps other people, the way what they're saying helps put into context what I've been through. And you don't feel so isolated anymore. You know, that you alone did this, or you're the only one who failed, or all those private demons we have, you know.
If you were designing this street academy for your needs, what would there be in it? I mean, what do you think you need?
Nurturing. Reassurance that I'm worth whatever goal I'm trying to achieve. Not so much I don't need a counselor, but I need to believe that there's going to be a friend there to hear whatever I need to say and not be judged, because I've been judged all my life.
Sometimes life throws stones at you. For me, it's been happening too often, and it's hard to relieve my stress, so I keep it boxed in. So deep inside of me,